the line between setting a healthy boundary and being rude, explained for people pleasers. So if you're a people pleaser, it might be quite hard for you to distinguish between the healthy boundary, between saying no, and between actually being rude, because of your fear to be perceived as rude. And that is actually a real fear that I've worked with my clients on. And it's because of that, it kind of makes you feel and believe that anything that induces even a slight littlest conflict between you and the other person is going to be perceived as rude, and then you're going to be rejected and you're going to be disliked and stuff like that. So also there's a belief that you can only be liked and not rejected and be accepted just when you kind of bend to other people's will. So where is that line? So one thing it is to step back a little bit, give yourself that time to actually understand if you can fulfill the request of the other person. So if your colleague comes to you with a lot of questions and they want you to help them with their workload, step back before saying yes. If you can just stop yourself there and think like, is this going to hinder my own work? Is this going to mean that I'm not going to complete my own things on time because I'm going to help them? And do I really want to help them? Because a lot of people pleasers that I worked with, they always say yes straight away, like within a split second without even thinking. But when they go away and think about it, they regret that yes. And then they are like, oh my God, like I really don't want to do that. I really don't have time. It means I'm going to have to work like overtime and stuff like that. And obviously the same goes with like a social situations when someone says, oh, let's go there, let's see this. And you don't feel like it and you really don't want to go. Instead of just saying yes, yes, yes straight away, you can step back and feel into like, do I really want to go there? And when you're saying no to someone, just say it with compassion towards the other person and understanding, using respectful and assertive language, however, maintaining a calm tone of voice. Here's an example of being rude and of setting a healthy boundary and saying no. So remember, this is in a normal scenario when someone asks you to do something for them and you either don't want or don't have time or both, whatever. F off, I'm not doing this anymore for you. Go do it yourself. Sorry, but I do feel a bit overwhelmed with my own workload at the moment, so I won't be able to help you with this at this time. So one way is to express your feelings to the other person. But you can see in the first example of being kind of a bit more rude with your response and setting the boundary, you're like throwing this away. Oh my God, I'm so frustrated. I need to help everyone at every point. And, everyone's like walking all over me. And the second one, you're actually saying, you know what, I am overwhelmed. I've got a lot of work and I can't really help you with this because I'm really overwhelmed. And that's that. And obviously there will be some people who will probably try to push back because they are used for you to be, that person who always says yes. And they might be actually trying to push their will onto you, but just stay firm with a no. You can even just reply in the same way and just keep repeating this. So I have a couple of good exercises to set boundaries and practice to say no. So one of them is role playing with your trusted friend, your loved one, etc. So you can just ask them to, role play with you this. They ask for advice or they ask for something from you and you're saying no, and how that feels. And in the same way they can suggest some things that they use to say no. So there's one. And the second one would be practice saying no on small things that are not really that significant and they don't have like a big consequence if you do say no. So You just like, going maybe to social situations where there's like a big party and no one's gonna really be upset if you don't show up, or just situations where you don't feel that terrified to say no. It's also a good idea to set aside some time just for you. So whether it's reading a book, doing something that you enjoy, so that time is yours. Set it aside and communicate it to others. So I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comment and I'll see if I can answer them. And if you want to resolve this quicker and faster, just book your free call via the link in my bio.